This is the biggest thing in our lived history for this country.
Respect is earned, mate, and actually they're just a family. They just happen to have crowns on. They owe King Charles nothing.
Welcome to the Showbiz Showdown with me, JJ Anisiobi. This is the only show on TalkTV where we take one massive, controversial issue from the world of entertainment and we debate it with a worthy opponent. So, today's big question. Is it a disgrace that pop stars are turned down performing at King Charles's coronation because they're a bunch of snowflakes, they're overpaid, they're over-pampered, they're overprivileged? Or, the other argument, I suppose, it's okay to say no, right? I don't know. But sitting across from me, Twitter vigilante and podcaster, co-host of The Trawl, Miss Jemma Forte.
Hello.
Welcome to the studio. This your first time on the show?
It is, so thank you for having me. And I was just interested in your adjectives then. Over-pampered, overprivileged. That's the rock stars?
Oh, it's going to be good. Well, look, Jemma, tell me, why have I been left with three members of Take That, a guy who hasn't danced on the ceiling for about 20 years, and a woman who has no spark and could never be described as a firework anymore? Why is that all we've got left at the King's coronation? This is the biggest thing in our lived history for this country.
Is it?
What else has happened for our country bigger than this in the last 30 years?
The Olympics.
Oh, yeah, fair play. But Charles was there for that too.
Yeah. Listen, it is a huge event. It's historic. And of course, there'll be millions of people who are really looking forward to it and they see it as a national pick-me-up. But there are millions of people who couldn't give a stuff as well. Yeah. And that's just fact. And we live in a country where, thank goodness, we can all, to an extent, within the law, do what we want. So actually, and also, sorry, Lionel's going to be great. Let's not diss Lionel before he's got on the stage.
I hope he's oiled his Zimmer frame as he's
bless
walking
him.
out. Yeah.
Bless him. But yeah, I think it is really interesting that perhaps he, as in the King, has attracted fewer big names than the Queen managed to for the Jubilee, for instance, where they're pretty much lining up to perform. Now, why could that be?
Well, why?
Why would it be? Well, there's a few reasons. Firstly, the royal family have been quite scandal hit recently. Okay,
just one of them.
Secondly, King Charles doesn't have a legacy yet. Okay, so he hasn't got that very much loved history that the Queen did.
Yeah.
And thirdly, perhaps it's not very rock and roll to be sort of associated with the monarchy, especially if your brand very much depends on a younger audience who might not be supportive of an arguably outdated institution during a cost of living crisis when this coronation is going to cost an eye-watering amount. What are we up to now? What is it?
Just over 100 million. Yeah.
I think 150, plus the loss of money to the economy over the bank holiday. And then, of course, pubs are going to benefit. There's all of that, and it will bring tourism in, etc.
You really think Harry Styles and Adele are sat at home thinking, actually, because the cos he lives, we probably shouldn't go and do this concert, guys?
I'm just thinking they might not be as enamoured with the whole idea, with going and supporting this very bloated ceremony and all this pageantry and pomp that's just not on brand for them. And they'll have had discussions with their teams.
Pageantry and pomp. Harry Styles, those words go together better than anything else.
Yeah,
it's all about the pageantry and pomp for him on stage. I think that these artists, I don't even want to call them artists, I feel ashamed to call them that title, these pop stars, right? They're just hypocrites, the whole lot of them. They're hypocrites. I think they're not doing the concert because, as you say, their younger audience might be offended. So they're going to say, no, look, we're not going to say we don't want to perform. We're just going to say that we can't perform. But they're essentially lying. The only person who is not performing, who's turned down an invite, who I can stand by, is Elton John, right? Because he was busy mates with Princess Diana. Yeah. Last thing he's going to do is go and support the woman who usurped Diana, essentially. So that's fine. But Adele?
Why should
Harry
Adele
Styles, a bunch
do
of
it?
Liars. Hypocrites and liars.
No, they're not. They're just making their own choices. So Adele is a working class girl who has achieved absolute superstardom and is mega wealthy now thanks to her incredible talent.
And thanks to the Brit School where she was given a chance.
Yeah,
Who gives funding to the Brit School? Oh, Prince's Trust give money to the Brit School. They have money for the founding of it.
The Prince's Trust is a good association, but I'm not going to get
and
the
that's
violins out for King Charles. How much money is he putting towards?
Should be saying, thank you, my lord, for giving me the opportunity
to
go to the Brit School.
Oh
Thanks
God.
to you, I got my start in the pop world. And now look at me. I can swear on stage in Las Vegas, which, by the way, is known as Sin City, a place where women are exploited daily. People's vices are exploited. You like to gamble? You've got an addiction? Come in here. We'll have no clocks. We'll close the windows. You don't know what time of day it is. And Adele is there contributing to that.
So
and then she's going to take the high horse about performing for King Charles.
You're trying to argue that this is a moral decision and you're going along with, that you could then get into the history of all sorts of things. things that have happened in the past, which we're not going to. But
no,
also
no,
you've
please
got
do, because that's been given as an excuse as well.
Prince Andrew there, and like, lovely. And you want her to be calling them my lord. I mean, that just doesn't really fit.
Andrew shouldn't be there.
Also, they haven't embarrassed the monarch. They haven't said we're not coming because they haven't put out a really big punchy statement. They've just declined.
Adele basically has. Adele didn't even give a reason.
No, that's fine.
Harry Styles at least lied.
They don't have to give
a
reason.
Well, it's courteous to. That's not very British, is it?
You just say, no, sorry, I can't come. It's like if you're invited to a wedding of someone you can't stand. You just say, oh, sorry, I can't make it. That is actually incredibly British. You don't say, I'm not coming because I can't stand you.
I'd say it's someone I didn't like. Ed Sheeran, I'm very disappointed with him as well, because he was, as you know, good friends with the late Jamal Edwards. Jamal Edwards was a good friend of King Charles. He was part of the Prince's trust. Jamal benefited from that. He was an ambassador for it. Ed Sheeran has not stopped talking about how much he misses Jamal and how much he wants to honour him in his passing. This would be a perfect opportunity, but Ed says, I can't make it.
Yeah, maybe he can't be bothered.
I'm somewhere else.
But this idea that everybody has to have it rammed down their throat, like it's choice. Like I say, I really respect people who want to have a knees up, celebrate it, have a party, get down the Mall, spend 4 nights in a sleeping bag, waving flags, all of that. Do it. And knock yourself out and have fun. But if you want to remove yourself, as many people will actually go away for the weekend, take themselves away from it because it's a bit much and it doesn't align with their values. And that perhaps they even think, I'm not sure. You know, Charles came in saying that he wanted to have a sort of a more modernised. Yeah. Where is the evidence of that?
Well,
because I personally,
he slimmed down the coronation.
A little bit.
Cost us 300
million.
But
let's focus on the cost, and let's focus on he's one of the richest man. He's just inherited billions in wealth since his mother passed away. He could more than afford. Wouldn't it have been a really fantastic gesture to the part of the population that aren't as bothered and that aren't as enamoured? Wowee, that was a lot to bring people together if he'd said, do you know what? This is on me. Then there would be no criticism. In fact, I think you would be hailed across the board as a modern monarch.
We're not talking about the commoners. We're talking about the pop stars, the privileged pop stars, who are taking a moral high ground, in my opinion. Look at
they're not born into their privilege.
Robbie Williams, for example, invited to perform. He performed for the Queen at one of her jubilees. He's turned down this one. Can't be bothered. The geezer was in Qatar last year, so it's okay to go to Qatar. What they're doing is all right.
He doesn't need to.
But King Charles, no, I'm not doing it.
I think
he didn't need to do Qatar either. He didn't need to do Qatar.
They can do exactly what they want.
But this makes them hypocritical.
It doesn't really. You could have been a massive supporter of the Queen and really wanted to do that, and then now you could think maybe going forward now the monarchy has lost some of its romance for me. I don't really know what I'm buying into.
Well, off that reasoning, he must have been a massive supporter of Qatar. Is that what we're going to say? Robbie Williams is a massive supporter of Qatar.
I'm not here to support. Are we sad that Robbie Williams isn't performing, or do we not care?
No,
I genuinely don't care. Oh, it's a massive loss. How terrible.
I just think it's disrespectful for Robbie, Adele, Harry and Ed to make these terrible excuses as to why they can't be there. Harry Styles, well, my band are having some downtime. You never heard of a CD, mate? Whack it on, do 2 songs on stage in your little sequin jumpsuit, and then disappear.
Look,
sweet.
The Spice Girls have said no as well. Look, where we're in agreement.
The Spice Girls aren't even together. They're not even a group. That's fine.
True, but perhaps they're worried about a backlash of their own brand, and these people aren't born into privilege. They aren't, okay? They've all come from normal backgrounds, and their wealth is made themselves, and so they want to consider their brand, their image, and what's going to play into their market. That is a business. Because that's business. That is business.
And my point,
they owe King Charles nothing.
I agree, but my point is exactly that it's their brand, and I think the reason that most of them have turned it down is because they think it's going to harm their brand.
Yeah.
But they don't think going to places like Qatar and Dubai and being paid millions in countries where being gay is illegal. If you kiss a man in the street, you're going to get put in jail for a year. That's okay for their brand.
That is where I would agree with you that, there's a moral judgment there to be made. And I don't have all those details, but yeah, 100%. I don't know who's done what in that. But at the same time, this idea of do they have the right? So just because they've gone and done that, we don't live in North Korea going, you will perform.
Well, I wish we did.
And you will enjoy it. And you will pay your smash hit. It's just like, Kylie Minogue, she turned it down. She declined and she has come out and said, actually, I've always loved being part of the royal palavers, but I know and suspect that Australia is going to become a republic, and first and foremost I am a proud Australian, so it doesn't sit right with me.
I respect that because she's not lied, she's not made some fluffy excuse, she's just said what she actually thinks, and that's why I respect Kylie Minogue. The rest of them, you're a bunch of hypocrites.
I love
Adele.
Adele.
You can get in the bit. No, Adele, I can't stand more. She puts on the whole fake. She's no longer street. She's on the stage. Oh my gosh, I'm just getting drunk with my mate Isla, whatever her name is, and then she's go back to her £50 million mansion. And she's hanging out
No,
with Jay-Z
I have
and
an
co.
absolute problem. That's
Good
where
grief.
us Brits are absolutely terrible. So you're saying that if you're working class, you've got to stay in your lane. You can't be aspirational. You can't make money. So yeah, of course, she has left some of those roots behind, and she probably is having amazing pampering sessions and all the things that money can buy. But so what? Why are we all right with that in Britain, where if you are born into it, then absolutely fine. You've got millions, you've got billions. That's cool. But if you're working class and then you're seen to have money,
I
that's
would like
not
to
on.
see her do more for the place where she's come from. I'd like to see her donate a couple hundred.
We
to,
don't
to
know.
the
She
Brit
might.
School. Not to the Brit School. I've looked through their paperwork.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the paperwork. I've made that up just for the argument,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, she ain't here to defend herself. She might give a lot to charity. I don't know, and I wouldn't care to judge. But like, would she fit in with brand King Charles? Probably not. I probably
Of
could
course
have guessed.
she would.
Why?
Because she's an Oscar winner. Because when she's on stage and she's not swearing, she's a classy act.
Yeah, she is. She's
and
amazing.
she
That's why
is-
he wanted her.
Yeah, because she is brand Britain.
Yeah.
That would be great to modernise. And this is what he's trying to do, modernise. But the people who we need to help modernise the royal family are kicking and screaming saying, oh, I don't
Because
know,
they
what my
don't-
fans
because they
are going to say.
don't agree.
I've got to go to Qatar.
They
I
don't
can't,
agree.
Sorry. It's despicable.
No,
It
not
is.
everybody is going to
They're
be
pri- they're
glued to the
privileged.
screen,
Overprivileged.
waving their flags. Like,
Neither will
"Oh."
I be. I won't be taking the knee either. I won't be making a pledge. But I
Right.
just think that these pampered souls need to accept and be thankful for the invitation to be
I think
on the
that's
world
really
stage.
bizarre.
There'll be billions of people watching this across the world.
I think it's really weird, this whole deferential thing of you will do what they say because they are your lord, your lady, your old rubbish. It's like respect is earned, mate. And actually, they're just a family. They just happen to have crowns on.
Yeah.
And, so like it's 2023. Do what you want. Harry Styles, good on you.
Do it for Britain.
Nah.
If not for the king, do it for
They're
Britain.
doing plenty of other concerts for Britain.
Oh, good grief. Well, I mean, I think we agreed on one part. I can't remember what
Yeah,
the part
we
was,
did.
but yeah, we
Yeah.
agreed on something.
Yeah.
Well, leave your comments below. I want to know what you think. Am I right? Is Jemma right? Or maybe the coronation should be scrapped altogether. Also, make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for more from TalkTV and the Showbiz Showdown. See you next time.